Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
জল নিচে পড়ে আপনি বলেন ম্যানেজমেন্ট কেউ নেই এখানে কোনো
word is Tava, T-A-V-A. Krishna Tava, P-U-N-Y-A. Fourth word is Habe, H-A-B-E. B is in Bob. See if you can find the song. It will say KK songs. Raise your hand if you're able to find that song. Wow, perfect. Raise your hand if you didn't find that song. Krishna, K-R-I-S-H-N-A. Tava, T-A-V-A. Third word, Punya, P-U-N-Y-A. Fourth word, Habe, H-A-B-E. And when you Google search it, you should be able to find that song. Are you all ready? Welcome home, Drew. So did everyone find that song? Raise your hand if you found it. It's a very beautiful song. Srila Prabhupada, he wrote 3 songs. And it's one of the songs that he wrote because he was coming to the US exactly how many years ago? Gopalaj Prabhu?
September 17th, 1965.
How many years is that? How many years? 60th anniversary? 60th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada coming in a cargo ship to Boston Harbor with nothing but a trunk full of books and the clothes that he was wearing on his body at the age of 70. And so he was helpless, he was desperate.
And 40 rupees.
And he was 70 years old. That's a pretty daring journey. So, while he was in the ship, he has 3 heart attacks. And he survives the 3 heart attacks. And he lands in Boston Harbor this year, exactly 60 years ago. And so, he wrote 3 songs. And this song gives us a glimpse as to why he was so, at the tender age of 70, why he was so determined to risk his life to come to the US. And he came empty-handed. And why? Why did he do this? So this song that we will sing reveals a little bit of what was in his heart. And you can just try to sing with me if you can. If you can't, just try. Krishna. Who has the kartals? I need to find the song myself. Krishna Tava Punya Krishna Tava Punya Krishna Tava Punya. So you all have the song? If you Google it, you'll be able to find this beautiful song. Krishna Tava Punya Hare Everyone who's here for the very first time, raise your hand. Please tell us your name. Vimala. Let's welcome Vimala Devi to the temple. And yours?
Naresh.
Naresh. And then who else? Krishna. So Krishna has come to see Krishna. Perfect. Who else? Siddharth. Let's welcome Siddharth. Who else do we have? First time. Varsha. you're not bringing Varsha with you, right? Okay. Who else is here first time?
Yashi.
Yash?
Yashi.
Yashni.
No, it's Yashi. Y-A-S-H-I.
Oh, Yashi.
Yeah.
Okay. That's anyone else here for the very first time? Amog. Anyone else here for the very first time? Is there anyone here for the second time? What is your name? Giovanna. Giovanna. Let's welcome Giovanna. So, we're so happy that you're here. And this is a tradition in this temple for the last 50 years. For those of you who are coming for the first time, this temple is called the mother of all the temples in the state of Georgia. Mother is the origin. From mother, everybody comes. Is there anyone here who was born without a mother? Raise your hand if you're born without a mother. So, all of us, we are here practicing whatever worship we want because of this temple, because this is the mother temple in the state of Georgia. And from here, many temples have come about. 25, 30 temples in the state of Georgia. But the mother is always a mother. And the children will always be remaining children. That's why in India we say Bharat Mata. Yes? You say Bharat Pita? Bharat Mata, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
America is what? America Data or what is it? America Brother? What is this nation? What do they call it? Do they say Mother America or Brother America or Father America? Huh?
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. What is uncle? Sorry, I forgot. America is uncle. So, you'll have to keep in mind. Mother means where everything originates from. So this temple is the origin of the spiritual explosion that happened not just in the state of Georgia, but all of the southern parts of the United States. And so this is why the song that I sang with you sang so beautifully the first 2 lines. And I wanted to read this song, the translations, and speak from this song. Because here, Srila Prabhupada, he came to the United States 60 years ago at the tender age of only 70. And with nothing but the clothes on his back and a trunk full of books. And with that he created a very international revolution of consciousness. And that revolution of consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. So we're going to understand what is the uniqueness of Srila Prabhupada and his arrival to the United States, and what does it signify for us. So let's read this song and then we'll break out this song. This song is written in Bengali. So you'll remember Gaudiya Vaishnavism was started in Bengal. Shaivism, Shri Vaishnavism in different parts of southern parts of India. then it spreads all over the country. So it's a very unique phenomenon. So this language called Bengali is a language of bhav. You know what bhav means? What is the meaning of bhav?
Expression or emotion.
Emotions. Expressions of emotions. Anyone here been to Italy? Raise your hand if you've been to Italy. Raise your hand if you know an Italian person. Have you heard Italians? They speak very expressive. They have a lot of hand gestures and body gestures. The language of Bengali is a language that expresses the emotions of the heart. And so therefore, Srila Prabhupada writes this beautiful song, Krishna Tava Punya Hare Bhai, Je Purna Karive Jave Radha Rani Khushi Hobe, Dhruva Ati Bali Tomatai. I want to spend just a minute to express to you what does this line mean? Why is it so unique that Srila Prabhupada is establishing the fundamental principles? He is establishing the gateway. You need a gate. And to exit or to enter, you need to have a gate. So in the first stanza of this poetic song, he expresses, Je Purna Karive Jave Radha Rani Khushi Hobe, Dhruva Ati Bali Tomatai. He is opening the gate. Srila Prabhupada is showing us the gate, the door, for you to exit. Because this material world is a place that doesn't have a lot of exits. You may be wondering what I'm saying. Exit means there is a sign, and it's very clearly written exit. Whenever there is a fire, you will see signs that say exits at the doors. So that you can leave the building in case of any danger. But this material world, they don't have the signs very clearly written everywhere how to exit. What happens is, when your time is up in this world, you get evicted. You get pushed out of the door. And when you get pushed out, it's not a good feeling. So that's why when people leave this world, they don't live very joyfully, unless you're a devotee of Krishna. It's very difficult to exit joyfully. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining in this first stanza that Je Punya Karive Jave Radha Rani Khushi Hobe. That to exit this world, you must have the blessings of Srimati Radharani. Now we have to also understand why Srila Prabhupada is saying it in the verse of Srimati Radharani. So we'll break it down a little bit more to understand why. I'm not going to be able to give the class on this whole song, so we'll just spend time on this one verse so we can understand. Radharani Khushi Hobe. That in our life, if you do not make your mother happy, if Srimati Radharani is the embodiment of the pleasure potency of Krishna, that means she is the embodiment of love. And the way to exit this material world is when she is happy. She is the doorway. If you want to leave this world, she is the doorway. Radharani has many expansions. So all the devotees in the world, they have something called compassion in the heart. Whatever compassion that you see in the world is a reflection of that original compassion that is coming from Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada is explaining that if you want to exit this world, you need her blessings. he did the mother portrait. See, mother means compassion. And so that compassion that is in the heart of Srimati Radharani, she is the embodiment of that compassion. That compassion enters into the hearts of devotees who worship Krishna. Unless she is in your heart, you cannot do anything. The world will be a very cruel place. So whatever compassion mothers have, children have, parents have, those are compassion that is a reflection of Srimati Radharani. And Jiva Goswami explains in Bhakti Sandarbha, which is a very beautiful treatise on the principles of bhakti. And that compassion in the heart of a devotee, it is called Bhakti Shakti. So Bhakti Shakti is the expansion of Srimati Radharani in the hearts of the devotees. And so Srila Prabhupada is bringing what? Je punya karibe jave, Radharani khushi hobe. Radharani becomes happy when we cultivate a mood of service towards the devotees. And so Srila Prabhupada is expressing this very important principle, that in order to make Radharani happy, because she is the gateway, you have to make the devotees happy. And what makes devotees happy? Rupa Goswami writes this beautiful verse. Who knows this? Tunde Tanna Vini. Who knows this verse? I will not give you too much Sanskrit. We'll keep it English so you can understand. Very beautiful verse that Rupa Goswami writes. And what does he glorify? He glorifies the word Krishna. And how this word Krishna, when you chant, it pleases Srimati Radharani. So when Rupa Goswami writes that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he becomes so joyful because you're glorifying the mother, the source, the gateway, the pathway to entering into a dimension that is beyond the dimension of this material world. Then Rupa Goswami compiles this beautiful verse in Sanskrit, Anar Pitam Charim Chirat. And there he also glorifies Srimati Radharani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he hears this verse, he immediately gets up and he embraces Rupa Goswami to his heart and he bathes him with his tears of loving affection. Very fascinating. There is a very beautiful song. In Bengal, they sing, Bhaja Gauranga. You repeat after me. Bhaja Gauranga. Kaha Gauranga. Laha Gaurangera Namare. Is singing this in the streets, because we all know that we need the doorway to leave this material world, because this is not a place of fun. And he's providing a very simple modality, very simple process. And the process is Bhaja Gauranga, worship Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, chant the name of Gauranga, accept and receive the name of Gauranga in your heart. And those that worship Gauranga, they become my life and soul. So if you want to know what is the life and soul of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. If you want to become his life and soul, then you must worship Gauranga. It's so cool. A lot of little shortcuts the sages have given us. And so Srila Prabhupada is pointing it out in this first verse. First point that he's pointing out, that Radharani, that mother, is accessible in the Bhakti Shakti, that compassion of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the compassion and the mercy of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They are all encapsulated and embedded in the heart of the devotees. Very beautiful, right? So, the second point of this song, I want, because we can dig a little deeper to understand how this Shakti works, Bhakti Shakti in the heart. So the next point is Sri Siddhanta Saraswati. I will, verse number 1. We only went to the refrain, so we just covered. The verse number 1, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Sachi Shuddha Priyahati Krishna Seva Jar Tulanai Seishe Mahanta Guru Jagatere Madhya Guru Krishna Bhakti De Thai Thai. Srimad Bhakta Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master, most magnanimous within this universe, who bestows devotion to Krishna in various places throughout the world. So we're just going to cover this verse, our class today. So, Prabhupada establishes in the refrain that he is a resident of Vrindavan, because he is from Vrindavan, and he is making sure Vrindavan, Radharani is the mother, she is the queen of Vrindavan. Everything in Vrindavan is her representation. And that's the beauty of Vrindavan. So now, in the first verse, Prabhupada is saying, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, you see the picture behind Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes he was considered to be a lion acharya. Acharya means someone who lives by example. So, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was known as the lion acharya. And what does that mean? That means he was the empowered vehicle to get, first we figured out there is a door, and then how to get through the door. You can't just walk out and in and out. You need a vehicle. And who is that vehicle? That vehicle is Sri Siddhanta Saraswati. He is that transcendental vehicle, an empowered vehicle. From a very young age, he showed all the symptoms and qualities of a Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat that is coming from the spiritual world, descended. We have to keep in mind, descended means you have come from top. And we are trying to ascend, we are trying to go up. And so, he has come down to pick us up. And he is the vehicle. He is the vehicle through which we can cross the ocean of material suffering and go exit through the door into the spiritual world. So, very important principle Srila Prabhupada is establishing is that without the current, there is an electricity, you need a current. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur is the current that is coming from the spiritual world that he has brought with him. And now he has given And Srila Prabhupada is then charged to that spiritual current. This tradition of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, it is not a transmission of information. It is not a transmission of data. It is a transmission of data with realization and with revelation. We have to be very mature world. The teachers you go, they give you information. In the spiritual world, when the teacher is sharing, he's not just giving you theoretical knowledge. He's giving you his realized knowledge. Why? Because he has practiced that theory. And only when you practice that theory, you can become realized. So that is the definition of Vijnana. Means, when you apply the knowledge, when you apply Jnana, it becomes Vijnana. And that realization, when you practice it for years, with no interruption, with sincerity and humility, what happens is, you become the source of revelation. Revelation means you become the conduit through which the Supreme Lord can transmit spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is not transmitted through mind. It's not a mental exercise. It's not an intellectual process. Bhakti is not just that. Bhakti is something very deep. So therefore, the three-dimensional process of receiving knowledge is needed. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he is the current because he is the recipient of that spiritual current coming down in the chain of disciplic succession. You don't wake up one day and you become self-realized. That is not the tradition in Bhakti. In our Bhakti tradition, it comes from Krishna to Brahma, the creator, Brahma to Narada Muni, his son, Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Who is after Vyasadeva? Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, then Madhvacharya. This great saint, you sing in South India. Madhvacharya. Then Padmanabha, Nrihari, Madhava, Akshobhya, Jayatirtha, Jnanasindhu, Vidyanidhi. In this way, all the spiritual current is descending into this world. So what is Srila Prabhupada saying? Prabhupada is saying, it is the power of my spiritual master. Because our spiritual master, when you come in a disciplic succession, they become the cosmic channel. That means all spiritual knowledge comes through the spiritual master. It doesn't come to you in your sleep. That's not the way it works. It has to have a pure conduit who is pure, sincere, and humble. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sadishnana. Without humility, you can never be the conduit of divine information. In the Srimad, to Brahma's mind. It doesn't say to Brahma's mind. It doesn't say to his intelligence. Krishna gave this knowledge, Hridaya Adi Kavi. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi. Adi Kavi is Brahma, but Hridaya, in the heart. So the spiritual transmission of bhakti, of this philosophical understanding, this practice, it is not a transmission of intelligence in the mind, it is a transmission of spiritual knowledge that comes from one heart to another heart. In English, this communication is called intracardiac communication. You can look it up. It's a very interesting. So we see that empowerment in this world comes through a very interesting process. that empowerment comes through instructions. Spiritual masters, what they give you is they give you instructions. And that is how the current of spiritual knowledge is descending into this world. For example, in India it's very common, we see sadhus, we go touch their feet and we want blessings. Who has done that in their life? We pay respects and we want them to bless us. Sometimes they do with one hand, we hold it a little longer so they can bless you with two hands. And we don't get up till they bless you with two hands. And so we are really seeking, and we feel that this is the way to get blessing. But Prabhupada is saying, no, this is not the only way to get blessing. The real blessing comes when you follow the instructions of the spiritual master. What was the instruction of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur to Srila Prabhupada? Only one instruction. He said, you must take this message of bhakti, this message of Krishna consciousness to the Western world. And he waited how many years? Decades he waited. But internally, he never forgot. And we'll get to that point. Oh, my time is up. Okay, we'll give you 2 minutes. We'll summarize this for you really quick. So this current or the empowerment comes from following instructions. Not through physical association, but to actually follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur had given him an instruction, please take this message. And he also said, whenever you get money, print books. And if you realize, Iskcon is known all over the world as one of the most documented sampradayas. And there is no acharya in the world you will find that is as documented as Srila Prabhupada. Everything has been captured. And so books are being published. And these books have now traveled every nook and corner of this universe. So this current that we're talking about has spread from his spiritual master, and it's spread all over the world. So this is the point that I was trying to make. So I'm going to skip everything, all the verses, and I want to just share with you that Srila Prabhupada, he never lost focus. So he had everybody in this world, they feel they have some mission in this life. But what is missing is, mission is generally related to material ambitions. What is missing is an ambition that is internal of the heart, and that is called longing. So Srila Prabhupada, he was constantly thinking and traveling all the continents and spreading the message of bhakti. But in his heart, his longing always remained. And in this beautiful end of this shloka, his longing is to dance in the forest of Vrindavan as a cowherd boy with Krishna. And this was his longing. And that remained a secret. And in this song, when you read the song, very beautifully Prabhupada expresses this. So, an acharya means someone who's deeply connected to the mission, which is to give out bhakti all over the world, and his longing always remained that he's going to be in Vrindavan playing with Krishna. And Chirasati is the word that eternal friend. And who is an eternal friend? That is Krishna. And those are the words that Srila Prabhupada expresses. So his reason for coming to the Western world is to be the instrument of his spiritual master's instruction, so that everyone can exit this material world. He wanted to show that there is a door, there is an exit door. You don't have to be stuck in this material world. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. You don't need that. He showed you how to get out of the cycle. So this is why Srila Prabhupada is such an important part, plays such an important part in this Kali Yuga, because he shows us the exit door. So this was the first verse of this song. I recommend you please read this song and study this song, because here he is really expressing his bhav, what is in his heart. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any thoughts, any reflections, any questions, comments? So I will just leave you with this thought, that Srila Prabhupada, his mission in this world was service to his spiritual master's instruction, and his longing was his home in Vrindavan. So how to live in two worlds at the same time? And it's possible only when you're fully engaged in the instructions, empowered, and then that empowerment comes from following the instructions of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, we have any Sunday feast sponsors? Dinesh Mishra and family, please come to perform the arati. And then we also have Dinesh and Kritika. Please come to perform an arati. Nidhi Gaur and family to please come. Ajit Krishna Prabhu is here? So please face their lordships and then we'll do a kirtan now. And please bring your daughter Sanjana with you. Oh, there she is. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this family, they sponsored the Sunday feast to serve the Vaishnavas. They knew they could predict the topic we were going to have for the class serving devotees, so they wanted to make sure they served all the Vaishnavas. And they wanted your prayers and blessings. So if you don't mind, to please raise all four of your arms. Your Chaturbhuj Murti. Together, face their lordships. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dinesh Mishra and family, please come. Dinesh Mishra ji and his family, they also wanted to serve all the Vaishnavas, which are all of you sitting here. And they wanted to sponsor this feast because they wanted prayers and blessings for their departed grandparents who have left this world some years ago. And wherever they are, this is their request, wherever they are in the 14 planetary systems, sometime to leave these 14 planets and go into the spiritual world takes time, so you have to go to the other higher planets. So wherever they are, they become the recipient of your prayers and your blessings. This is the request of Dinesh Mishra ji and family. Am I correct? Yes. Okay, so please raise all 4 of your arms. As loud as you can, together. Hare! And the family. She turns 9 years old. So are you ready?
Yes.
We're going to sing happy birthday to, what is her name? Lavantika Vrinda Rai. Ready? What is the name? You guys are doing better than me. It's fantastic. So you all ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lavantika Vrinda Rai. Happy birthday to you. Can you raise both your arms? And you have to swing them from one side to the other. Don't be like statues. Put some life into your motions. Yes. Ready? Even Krishna is dancing. You see that his hands are up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, everybody, Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you all very much. We have 2 prayer requests. It's so nice when devotees ask, when you ask them, what do you want? What do they say? Please pray for me. We don't say, why don't you give me a loan, buy me a house, or take me out. The devotee says, please pray for me. So this devotee, there is a Chandani family. So this Mataji named Saroj Mulchandani, she has very beautiful children and they're big supporters of this temple. And she passed away years ago. But sometimes the family, in their heart, they still want and they remember their loved ones. And whenever you remember the loved ones, what do you say? Please pray for them. So they send in a request for prayers. Her name is Saroj Mulchandani. So can we please raise all 4 of your arms one more time? Ready? Together? Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare! Also we have one devotee named Ajit Krishna Prabhu. You may see him today. He used to be part of the temple board of directors. and he was such a very sincere devotee. He rendered tremendous amount of service. His whole family were engaged, his wife was engaged in deity worship, and he was engaged in outreach and management of temple affairs. So the whole family were very, very dedicated servants of Srila Prabhupada and their spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Das Goswami Maharaj. And so he hasn't been coming due to health not being so great, his whole family, and he was supposed to come today. He may still be coming, so when you see him, please offer your heart. And now I'm going to request you to please let us pray for his whole family, Ajit Krishna Prabhu's wife, and him and his 2 children and their expansions. So we're going to do a heartfelt prayer for the whole family. Together, please raise your hands. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So I just have a few dates. You could pencil it in your calendar. So every Ekadashi, we have something ecstatic going on. Do you know what is Ekadashi? Who knows what is Ekadashi? Raise your hand. Who doesn't know what is Ekadashi? Raise your hand. Who has no idea what I'm talking about? That's good. Ekadashi is a very auspicious day. It's 5 days before full moon. And it's a very auspicious day because it is a day of devotion. Every day you're busy working, one day is dedicated to devotion, just like you have Mother's Day, Father's Day. Those are all commercial days, so that you can go and spend some more money. But this Ekadashi day is a day where you can spend all your energy in cultivating your spiritual heart. If you cultivate your spiritual heart, your material heart will also work better, function better. So on this day, we have ecstatic kirtan here in the temple. And it's really nice. Their loving energies, they come and chant and dance. And each and every one of you are invited for this kirtan and a free feast, Ekadashi feast. Another reason you don't have to cook at home. You can take your husband out on a spiritual date with Krishna. And all the men, you can take your wife and your girlfriends out on a spiritual date with Krishna. And it's extremely romantic, by the way, with Krishna. So this is what happens every Ekadashi. October the 3rd, Friday, Vashankusha Ekadashi. And keep in mind, October the 6th, Monday, Kartik Vrata begins. There's 1 month of devotion to Krishna. So those are the dates that I would like you to remember. And for those who are monthly members, the Back to Godhead magazines. This is a magazine that was started by Srila Prabhupada. When he had no money, he had no shoes, he had no place to eat, no place to sleep, he would handwrite these articles and he would distribute them in the scorching heat where the asphalt melts in Delhi. If you know where Delhi heat, anyone here from Delhi? Only a few people, so you know. But you may not know because you have never walked barefoot in Delhi. But the asphalt as the temperature gets so hot, the asphalt starts to get soft, melt. So he would walk barefoot and distribute these Back to Godhead magazines. Very beautiful articles about spiritual subject matters. So please come and collect yours from Srila Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please come and have your last darshan, and prashadam will be served outside.